Hi, remember me? Been a while, right? I'm John, I'm a regular EV dad. Hope you're doing well. Haven't done one of these for a very long time, and I thought it was well overdue that I check in and tell you what's going on and what's been happening and what's going to happen, because these are revolving times. So I don't think I've done one of these all year, and it's now in the middle of April. It makes no difference. In fact, 2 days from now, I think it's going to be the official 1-year anniversary of me taking ownership of my Volkswagen ID.4, although my journey with EVs goes much further back. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things, what's been going on today and what's happening in the future, and a couple of personal items as well. And if you haven't, just hit that like and subscribe thing, because one of the things I want to do is get the channel up to 1,000 subscribers, which is not a huge number, but it's important for how YouTube works and how the algorithm works as well. Don't worry, I'm not planning on hitting the monetization button. I have bigger issues to deal with. Anyway, so first of all, hi. The ID.4, as we say today. I wasn't going to do a lot of miles in it. I think that's what I said to myself. I'm just getting into the status. As of right now, 2 days before its first birthday, is at 33,837 miles. It is a GreenGlow. We are in a GreenGlow situation. We are at 25% right now. We plugged in at 18%, and it's charging at full speed at 126 kilowatt hours. No changes there. And in fact, I did a battery check a couple of days ago. I plugged in at home at 0, as makes no difference, as in, turtle mode and everything. And I actually turned, so as to minimize heat losses, I put the, I had nothing to do the next day, I put the charger down to 20, that's not what I mean, down to 3.5 kilowatts, and charged it for the full day, and yeah, there's still 77 kilowatts of usable battery. So any degradation that has happened in the header, which is fine by me. We have new tires. We've been replacing tires one by one, not because we wanted to, but because I picked up a puncture. Picked up 2 punctures actually, and it was cheaper to buy the tires, and because they're staggered, but get 4 tires, and so I just keep them in the garage. But now there's less than 3,000 miles difference between any of them. And I do want to do some tire checks and evaluate some other options, because I'm not impressed with the wear on the OEM ones. So hi Pirelli, Hancock, we should talk. I'm not doing this to not buy tires. I want to just get a better understanding and test tires, especially with the summer driving season upon us. Content. So I haven't been producing much, which isn't true, because I've recorded quite a lot over the past, I would say, 5 months or so, but I haven't been able to edit it. So here's the little bit of personal stuff. So co-pilot London, she is well. She turned 5 in September. I think she's going to turn 30 the way she's talking to me these days. Next time round, she's doing fine, as is Mrs. Regular EV. I did a short video. We did a trip to Pasadena earlier in the year, and I just shot that bits and pieces on my phone. But that went great, and the family, the whole family plus a friend of ours, Lisa, came down, and they were very impressed with the fact that the charging really doesn't impact life for people with bladders and kids and dogs and stuff like that. And that was when gas was relatively affordable. So right now things are very different. I'd actually say that this has become the regular vehicle now, with gas prices as they are. I quit my job. I didn't quit my job, but I left my job at the end of September. And I didn't have immediate plans. In fact, I was going to take some time off. That lasted for 24 hours when I was appointed the interim VP of marketing for a security company. And yeah, what was meant to be a 90-day thing turned into a 5-month thing, and it was a lot more work than was planned, but it was great doing it. That came to a slightly more abrupt than was planned at the beginning of this month, the beginning of April. But that's great because it's horrible to say, but I don't really need the money. The company I used to work for has raised $1 billion, and as part of that, they bought out all my stock. So that more than helps a little bit. And that has some positive effects on the channel, and I'll come to that in a few minutes. It's Easter Sunday. It's a few minutes past 10 at night. It's been a long day, but I just wanted to get a couple minutes and just get this down, so pardon my yawning. So let me talk about some of the trips that I'm working on. So right now, over the next couple of days, I'm taking meetings and I'm doing interviews and stuff like that. There's no great shakes there. I've already got stuff lined up, and I'm doing some consultancy and some contracting work. You see some interesting individuals in a cup in a Bank of America this late at night. Have you seen me looking around? Yes, if you're looking since the last video, I look a little bit skinnier. I've lost about 40 pounds since the middle of January. But I'm sure I'll come back to that at some point. Just gone through 42 and dropped to 104. So still on the money. Very reliable charging curve. So we did a couple of trips end of last year, which I've never got edited, and the problem is it just takes so long to edit things. And it's not something you can easily send out, and you can't send out these hour-long videos for editing. It's just not cost effective. You don't get the results you want. But now I have some more time, especially over the next, especially over this coming week. So my plan this week is to get a lot of editing done and get a lot of content uploaded, not published, because I'll stagger the publishing. There's no point just dumping this all at once. But that's what's going on there. So those trips include, what else did we do last year? It was a trip to Vegas. The conclusion to the New York trip, I don't think that ever got fully edited because I was so tired and buggered up on the last hour of the trip, rambling incoherentness. But we'll see what we can do. And then yeah, there was the Squim trip which I was doing, which I think I put half of it up. And then this year I drove a Chevy Bolt. Obviously I still do the podcast with Joe most weeks, as our schedules and personal lives allow. But yeah, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I rented a Chevy Bolt in Austin, drove to Houston and back over a couple of days, and used it to run around. So there's a video there that needs to go up. And then there's that. I'm going to mention it now. I am annoyed with Volkswagen that we still have no over-the-air update that we've had. That, you know, what was a significant part of purchasing the vehicle was the constant updates to it and safety and everything else like that. I still have a multimedia system that doesn't work 100% of the time, that I cannot change the volume on, that I cannot change the mode from comfort to eco or sport. The biggest issue is the inability to change the volume. I find that frustrating and unsafe. The volume can be just blasting away and I can't change it. It gets stuck into voice control volume. They keep promising us these things and nothing's ever happened, so I'm disappointed in that. But yeah, so what's going on? If you listen to the podcast, we've talked about this. Joe and I are going to be meeting up in Reno in a couple of weeks' time, in the middle of May, and we are going to drive I-50 to Salt Lake City, which will be fun, to prove that these things can be done. So we're going to do it. Go to the podcast, Family EV podcast. I'll put a link in the show notes. You can listen to it on YouTube, and so you can listen to it on Spotify and Apple, Google, all those things, or you can watch it on YouTube. We're going to do that, and we'll obviously be recording that journey. That's going to be fun. Carson City to Salt Lake City the wrong way. It is possible, but you've got to be careful, and there's some long 50 kilowatt charges, so we're going to come up with something entertaining for those bits. Yeah, my comedy career has kind of taken off. I'm recording a special, an album, at the end of July. I won't give the name away. There's two possible names for the album. We're working on that. All of that has come about because of a wonderful comedian by the name of Tony Hinchcliffe. You may not like his politics, but he's been a fantastic mentor to me and helped me tremendously in terms of what I care about in comedy. So thank you to him. And in fact, that's a nice segue to the next thing. So how much of this do I want to give away? So the family's getting a new EV, not a Tesla. I'm not going to give away what it is. I think we'll hold on to that. But I'm going to travel to Atlanta on Friday and pick it up. And then I'm going to drive it home. The local dealer wanted a significant markup above list to secure this vehicle for no extra value or service. And that markup will disappear the minute we have any kind of correction in the market. It certainly won't end up, So my wife, Mrs. Regular EV, wanted a particular colour and interior and specification, which we both agreed, and there were 17 of them in the country, so I made 16 phone calls. And one dealership came through, and with no shenanigans, has agreed to it. I didn't even argue about the $599 dealer fee, because I thought that was a steal. Not only that, but because it's in Atlanta in Georgia, they have, let's call them, weaker tint laws, and so this thing's going to be tinted to Atlanta standards. Yeah, I know if they pull me over in California, yada yada yada, whatever. That's a big if and when. I'd rather have the heavier tint. And then yeah, so that's what's happening. So I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to drive it home quite quickly, so I'm going to drive straight to New Orleans. So if you're in the New Orleans area, I'm trying to pronounce it correctly, I will be there on Saturday the 23rd that night. I'm going to see if I can get a comedy gig. I've reached out to the locals. If you want to know where I am and what I'm doing, follow my comedy Instagram. That's Big Brit John, Jon, or just go to BritishJohn.com and you can follow the socials from there. And I usually let people know what's going to be happening. And then from there I'm going to drive to Texas, to Austin, and I'm going to do a show on Sunday night, if I get in on time. And then I'll do Tony Hinchcliffe's show on Monday night, hopefully on the 25th, Kill Tony. And then I'm going to cannonball home. I'm staying in an Airbnb with a Tesla charger, which is kind of cool. An Airbnb room, so it's a shared house. So she's vegan, but she's got a Tesla, and she wants to know about the car I'm driving, so that's fine. That means I'll leave with 100%, and then I'm going to cannonball that thing back. My current plan, believe it or not, is to sleep in the car. In Tucson, there is a restaurant with 4 level 2 chargers. My plan is to sleep and charge in the car, so that'll be a video all of its own. We'll see how that works out. I have options of a Motel 6 if I need to, but this is what I want to try. And then I should get home that night. So that's what's going on there. In fact, tell you what, go to regular EV Dad on Twitter, and we'll run a poll of what car do you think I've purchased. And I can tell you now, it's not a Tesla. So long range EV, what do you think it is? Let me know in the comments here, or go to the poll. Joe and I will do a meetup in Salt Lake on it's going to be Thursday something. We're on Friday. Phoenix. We will be doing a meetup on Friday the 20th. Again, we'll put information on both our Twitter handles, and I'll also put something on Instagram at Big Brit John. 62%, absolutely, just on the money. I love how reliable this is. And that's it, really. Quite a lot going on, lots of editing to happen, but I've got a new editing laptop, and just been picked up from the Amazon locker a brand new USB-C 4 gigabit drive, so that's going to make it a little bit easier doing this on the road. And yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll answer as many as I can. And other than that, sorry I've been away so long, but when you work in security and things like the Ukrainian situation happen, your personal life just goes out the window. Anyway, if you have been, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for being part of this adventure. You have yourselves a very good night. Bye.